Texaco station on Lunenburg, there is no evidence to place Mr. Collins's phone near that particular location. Is that correct, sir?
For Mr. Collins, there's no data for that time period.
Now, there appeared to have been sometime on the 10th, after the homicide would have occurred, phone communication between Mr. Collins and Mr. Hewley. Was there any indication of phone communication or the phones contacting one another prior to the homicide on the day of the 10th?
I could go back through it, but I don't recall that.
Good enough, sir. That's all I need to know.
Well, I need to clarify that now that I think about it. I was looking at data that could be mapped. There could have been a text message or more in there that I'm not familiar with, but as far as phone call, I can be sure about that.
Okay, good enough. That's all I need
Yes,
to
sir.
know. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir.
Mr. Melvin?
Just a little bit of limited redirect, Judge. I'm going to call your attention to what's on the screen. It's labeled Miles Collins CSLI in reference to the Texaco. And as I understand this screen, just a few minutes before the 1:15 time period, Mr. Collins did make a cell phone call. Is that right?
Yes, this demonstrates that phone call at 12:49 a.m.
Right. Now, you don't have any data information from Mr. Collins' cell phone loader bar, correct?
Right, Mr. Collins didn't have any of that timing advance data that we talked about.
Okay, and I just want to go one more slide on Mr. Collins' cell phone before we publish the Texaco video that's previously been admitted into evidence. This slide that says Collins at 11:23 is in the Peace Recorders area. This is what I want to ask you about. That same small triangle with Mr. Collins is Mr. Booker's phone and Mr. Hewley's phones also in that location.
Yes, their phones were in that same area.
And so when Mr. Clegg is saying there's no information, but at 11:23, an hour before the murder, all three cell phones are in this area right here.
Yes.
You didn't have anything to do with the DNA analysis that shows Mr. Hewley being at QTV?
Did not.
Okay. Judge, at this time, we'd like to publish what's previously been admitted into evidence as State 68. I'm going to ask you about the consistency of the times, because I believe that you have one of the Booker locations at close to the Texaco. So you'll pay attention to the times.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I know that Mr. Lewis had previously given you a charge on video. I'm going to show one video that's pretty quick, but another one is going to be a 40-minute video. I'm going to fast forward through that video. Have we read that video charge?
I have not read the video charge. Do you already request that?
I do read it.
Okay. All right. You're about to see a video. I have directed the parties of the video to be, I have directed parts of the video to be removed. So for this presentation is not to unnecessarily extend the duration of the trial. Removed portions may include periods of dead time, matters bearing no relations to the case before you, or for specific legal reasons that are not proper for your consideration. You are not to draw any inferences for or against either party based on the removal portions of the video by this court. And since I'm not sure exactly what you're going to play, I'm going to go ahead and read the law enforcement charge with video.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? Okay.
Your Honor, there's no statement or anything like that. What we're going to show is the interior of the Texaco and then the exterior of the Texaco showing this van pulling out.
Okay, so no, there's not going to be any law enforcement.
Correct.
Okay, I'll hold that charge until we may need it later.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Investigator Wilbanks, let me pull on over to the text code. And this is off of States 68, previously admitted into evidence. It contains a number of videos around the text code number of drive. Do you notice the time that's on the lower right-hand corner of that video?
Yes, I see a timestamp of 1:17 and 38 seconds a.m.
Okay, if you'll please watch this video.
Can you see? I can't want to make sure. You can see. Okay.
I'm stopping the video at 1:18:04, and there's someone talking on the cell phone. We've previously had States 69 tendered and admitted that shows that this man is David Booker. Is that consistent with the CSLI?
Whoa, hold on.
I'm going to object to that characterization. First of all, prosecutor can't testify to who it is, and the investigator or any other witness can't sit on the stand and say, this is who this is in the video. That's for the jury to determine. I'm going to object.
The laws actually changed. 701 allows opinion testimony. Detective Jorstad actually did say on State 69, yes, this is David Booker. From a still shot in the video from 68, that testimony is already.
And so then the prosecutor can tell this other investigator, when there's a sequestration order in effect, that's David Booker? Yeah, I don't think the law has changed in that regard. My objection stands.
Any legal response to that?
And I'm not sure, I'm processing the objection. My question to the detective is it consistent with Mr. Booker's CSLI of Mr. Booker?
Okay, but that was not your question, so I'm going to sustain the objection if you'll rephrase your question, because that, I think, is a valid question.
Yes, is what we're seeing on States 68, gentleman talking on his cell phone consistent with Mr. Booker's CSLI, making a cell phone call from the Texas gas station at Gwinnett.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to go to the more extended video. It's taken on. Excuse me. So, I believe in, of course, these are the videos from the Texas gas station. And it's picking up at 01:15:85. Just like I told the court, when I fast forwarded to 01:18:24.
Okay.
See a car pulling up at 01:16:38. I'm going to take it, I'm going to fast forward it. See this, someone go into the store at 01:17:38 on the cell phone. At 01:32:33, gentleman looking underneath that sedan, and another gentleman by that sedan.
Yes, sir.
And when we saw earlier on the video, the gentleman on the phone walking into the store, is that consistent with the CSLI information that you had, sir? Of David Booker's phone, making phone calls around that time period?
Yes, sir. It's within that same minute. It's the phone call on that radio access network tower that I talked about was at 1:17 and 33, I believe it's 33 seconds.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Mr. Lewis.
Judge, can you put the David, the Miles Collins 10:06 to 11:23 a.m. diagram back up?
I'll get it up.
All right. Yes, that's it. Thank you very much. This is exhibit what? State's exhibit?
This is State's Exhibit 84.
State's exhibit 84. The prosecutor, before he played oh, fantastic. The prosecutor, before he played the video at the Texaco, indicated that, well, no, you go back to the prior one.
It's the same one, Lawrence, I just expanded it.
Okay, that's fine. The prosecutor, before he played the Texaco video, drew an area with the pointer indicating that Miles Collins and Hughley were also in the same area as David Booker. Remember that question he asked you?
Yes, all three phones were in that general area.
Fantastic. It was all, for me, it's all about distance and area. We indicate, I believe the testimony was that we determined David Booker was at 0.85 miles an area in terms of the distance to the QT. Do you recall that?
Right.
Right, 0.85, not quite a mile. His cell phone was somewhere in that area of the QT where the homicide occurred. Is that right?
Right. The representation I gave you of the records.
Right.
That's what it shows.
That's correct. Representation of the records. The prosecutor sort of gave us a grand circle. Do we know the distance that Miles Collins' phone was from the QT? At the time, we were able to determine what David Booker's distance was from the QT?
No.
Okay. Do you know what Hughley's phone distance was from the QT? At the time, we can determine what David Booker's phone was from the QT.
Booker and Hughley, there's a lot of robust information about their location information at or about that time.
Okay, good. So at the point where we can determine that David Booker's about 0.85 away from somewhere in that area of the QT, is Hughley's phone showing the same thing, 0.85, that same distance?
Right. Their phones and their records were very consistent about the areas that they would have been in
Okay.
before
okay.
and after. Yes.
Okay, so it sounds like you're saying Hughley and David Booker's phone are within 1 mile of the QT. Is that fair to say?
I would say that. In some cases, time matters, so it would depend on exactly which time. We talked about a specific time.
I'm talking about within
But-
2 minutes before the homicide and 2 minutes after the homicide. Within 5 minutes before the homicide or 5 minutes after the homicide. I'm talking about within that, the tightest range we can get. Within that tight range, they're within a mile of the homicide. Is that fair to say?
I think that's fair, yeah.
David Booker and Hughley, is that right?
Right.
But you can't tell us the same thing about Miles, is that right?
Right. I don't have records for that period to do any assessment.
Okay, all right, thank you very
Don't
much.
steal my pointer, Mr.
I'm sorry. No further questions.
I'm very attached to it.
No.
Mr. Clegg.
No, I don't think I have anything else, Judge.
Ms. Drake.
I just wanted to clarify something, and I think it's just the state was thinking and it was worded maybe a little bit differently. I wanted to clarify. He asked a question initially about a call being made from the Texaco. Is that the way the question was worded, I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Based upon the records that you have for Mr. Booker, a phone call was made at, I think the time was 1:17, is that what you stated?
That's correct.
But you do not have records that says it came exactly from that Texaco, just that it was in the area.
No, it was within a close area, but I can't tell you exactly.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Melvin?
If I could ask my question, Judge?
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Collins does not have location data at the time of the homicide, is that right?
Correct.
And no phone call was being made at the time of the homicide, is that right?
That's correct.
That's all right, nothing else.
Nothing more, Judge.
Nothing else.
Okay. May we release Investigator Wilbanks?
Yes, ma'am. No objection.
Thank you very much.
And that takes us to, this was our final.
Okay.